What if I told you that this video unlocks the keys in creating a wealthy life? My name is Shaqir Hussyin. I'm the founder of funnels.com. Now, before I turned 30 years old, I generated over $30 million. And in today's video, I want to share with you 5 millionaire principles that I wish I developed younger. So this is advice to people that are actually in their teenage years, or they're in their 20s or 30s. And sure, it's going to apply to other people, but hear me out, because I developed these habits and these insights in my 20s, and in my 20s it allowed me to become a multi-millionaire early on. Now, if I had developed these when I was a teenager and I understood this, then I wouldn't have wasted endless years in school, college, and even in university. I mean, I could have easily saved 5 years of my life. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because my younger brother, who's been working with me for about 7 years, he's just now left my company and is now transitioning into starting his own business. And I'm excited for him. And one of the things that I was thinking about was he's had this knowledge that I'm going to share with you essentially when he was a teenager, which allowed him to skip college, university, save at least 5 to 7 years of his life, and then transition to becoming a self-made man in his early 20s, and then really set up financially for the rest of his life. And so these 5 principles, sure, there's 20, 30, even 100 things I can talk about, but these 5 principles, I feel like, you know what, once you get them, it's almost like it gives you an edge. It gives you an unfair advantage over everyone else. And once you have them, it doesn't matter what industry you go to, what niche you want to target, who you want to serve, as long as you keep these as the bedrock foundation, then I think you'll have a way higher chance of becoming successful, whether it's to make $1 million, whether it's to do whatever you want in life. Okay, so these have worked for me. And again, I don't know if it's going to work for you or not, so take it for what it is. And the first one is going out your own way to get the knowledge. And I'll give you an example. Mikey, if you can grab my ticket over there. So there you go. Mikey just grabbed me this. And this is a ticket. If you can zoom in here. Okay, so if you can see here, the date. So this was November 19th, 2009. I keep this very close to me, and I've kept them for over a decade. Like 12, 13 years. They literally sit on my desk. And this was pretty much the first official event I ever attended that was abroad. And I remember I must have been like 21 years old at the time. And in 2009, when I went to this live event, I was completely broke, frustrated, university debt, friends and family thinking, why am I going to this place called Las Vegas at the Paris Hotel in 2009? Why would I go from London to fly over there? It's because I knew that there was a group of people over there that had knowledge that I didn't have. So what you want to do, okay, and this is my first principle, is you have to get hungry for the knowledge. And this is not just any knowledge, the knowledge that very few people have. Because if lots of people have this specific knowledge, then there's no value to it. But if there's people that have specific, specialized knowledge that they've spent years, decades, millions of dollars to figure out, then you want to be in those rooms. And I remember as a young kid, I'd always be usually the youngest in the room. I'd be, I don't like to call myself dumb, but basically I was not as educated or as clued on as anyone else. I'd be taking more notes than everyone else. I'd be the first person in the room, last person out. I'd literally network and talk to every single person. I'd dress the part. I'd always be dressed in suits and shirts just because I wanted to look older, so people would, even talk to me rather than showing up some young 21-year-old broke kid. I did every single thing that I could to have the odds stacked in my favor. Okay, this is a big thing. I see people, they really don't understand this habit really of consistently getting the edge on information that other people have. So I flew at 21 years old. I borrowed money from my friend. It was 1,500 quid. I flew to Las Vegas, Paris Hotel. I remember going into the hotel, literally asking the lady at the front desk, what's the cheapest room in the hotel room? All right, and she gave me the room right next to the elevator. And I remember not even being able to sleep, but I couldn't care less because the reality was I was so excited to go to this event. And I flew from London to Las Vegas. I mean, and when I was there, guess what I found? I found multiple people that were making money online. They were making $100,000 a month. They were making literally millions of dollars per year. And for me, it was just an eye opener. And what then happened was, one, I created behavioral change. I created new habits and new routines in my life because I was like, these people have got something that not many people know about. If they have it, they're no different to me. So if I put the work, if I do the work that's required, I can surely be like them. Literally 1 year later, I think it's 2010, well, maybe 2 years later, I was on stage in front of, I think there must have been like 750 to 1,000 people on stage, and I was winning this award. And these two guys, Jay Kubasik and Aaron Parkinson, they truly transformed my life, my thinking when it comes to my business, and the principles that I learned from them. Even some of them now, I still carry them on over a decade later. So you have to, as an aspiring entrepreneur, maybe you're in a job right now and you want to, break free, you have to become hungry for people that have the knowledge that you don't have. And you have to do whatever it is that you can to soak up this knowledge, right? And this thing that I've discovered is really comes down to proximity is power. So the more power that you want to have in terms of being able to learn, soak up this knowledge, soak up the energy, you have to be in close proximity with the people that you want to be like. So right now, identify 5 or 10 people that live your dream life, whatever that looks like, and ask yourself, how can I be in the proximity of these people? How can I be listening to them? How can I be talking to them? Subscribe to their YouTube channel, subscribe to their podcasts. Go and meet them in person if you can. Buy their programs, invest in yourself. And that leads me to my number 2 principle, which is always be investing in yourself. Now, I've made this a habit to the point where I paid Russell Brunson $25,000 for a single hour of his time. And guess what? About 5-6 years later, he paid me $1.3 million cash for one of my services that I sold to him and his company. So, does self-investing work? Absolutely. But it's not good enough for you to just invest and buy stuff just to feel good. You have to buy stuff, you have to invest in yourself, you have to pay so that you can pay attention. And then what you have to do is take that information and you have to action it. And the people that succeed the fastest and the most, the difference is they're not just taking in information, they're taking information to implement. If they get an opportunity, they don't look around and wander around for 6 months, 12 months, 5 years. I've literally had people come to me and say to me, man, I've wanted to start an online business for over 10 years. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, you could sit at home and in under 7 days, commit yourself. In under 30 days, you could literally have a website, a funnel, an offer, a traffic system, a sales system, all of this stuff set up. But they let their self-sabotaging thoughts, their weak mind control them so that even if they know they should be doing something, they don't do it. And if you find yourself in this position, I want to encourage you, go and meet people that you can be around, invest in yourself, whether it's through courses, coaching programs, mentorships, agency services, I don't care. But do something. And the reason why this works, okay, is very simple. When you invest in yourself, there's a part of you where you're departing from with your money. When you are given one of the most valuable energies that you have, which most people believe that to be the case, it's not, but whatever, most people do believe it is. And it is to some extent. So I'm not going to say yes or no to it. But for this video, in this matter, when you depart with money, it's something that most people work very hard to get. That's why you'll see people that are broke, poor, they have a hard time investing in themselves. They have a hard time buying the books, buying events, going to masterminds. But people that are rich and successful and they understand that money is there to be moved around, to be invested in, and it's all just a flow of energy anyway, then you'll see them abundantly investing in themselves. And so it's easy to say, oh yeah, but I don't have the money. Well, when I was 21 years old, I also didn't have the money. I borrowed money, I asked people, I got resourceful. I didn't let lack of resources hold me back. And when I started attending masterminds, I started attending gatherings and being in that inner circle of people. I mean, for example, I spent money with this guy, Dan Pena. I spent like 25 grand to spend 5-6 days in his castle. I paid this gentleman here, Dan Sullivan, $35,000. And I've paid endless coaches, consultants, mentors. Why? Because I know if someone has something that I want, there's a price to pay. If you don't even make $10,000 a month, well, that's a starting point. You need to go and find other people that are making $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month, and you need to be around them. Sometimes they're not gonna. People message me all the time. Can I take you for coffee? No, dude. I can afford my own coffee. Thank you, but no, thank you. Okay. Can I pick your brains for half an hour? No, you can't. People pay me literally $5,000 an hour. 1 hour. People pay me $5,000. This guy's paying me literally $10,000 a month. And all he gets is 2 phone calls, 2, sometimes 3, but 2 hours a month with me. So why would I just give away half an hour or 1 hour of my time so that you can pick my brains? It doesn't make sense. However, I do offer programs like my 5-day challenge, shameless plug. Check it out down below in the comment section, 5daychallenge.com. It's a 5-day program. I go step by step, exactly what to do, how to find an idea, how to find a winning niche, how to get your online business up and running in under 30 days. Okay, so go check that out if that's interesting to you. Now, going back to the video, when it comes to masterminding, one of the things that I found to be very powerful is that when you're around people that have like-minded goals and they are getting results that are way above your pay grade, for a direct way of saying it, what tends to happen is you naturally start moving up. So I could make $500,000, $1 million a month, but my best friend, he's making up to $4 or $5 million per month. When I'm hanging out with this guy, Grant Cardone, who's worth billions and billions of dollars, okay, one of his companies, just one of them, makes over, I think, $12 or $15 million per month. So guess what happens in my mind? I'm like, oh yeah, that's normal. I just spent time with Grant. I've just spent time with his team. Okay, I see how this is structured. And so now my brain and my mind gets opened up. So this is my second most valuable principle: investing in yourself for proximity, investing in yourself for fast tracking your results. Okay. Number 3 is understanding this concept of WPO. And when I understood this WPO thinking, it truly made me fearless. And what does WPO mean? It means worst possible outcome. So when I'm taking massive action, when I'm analyzing opportunity, and you are being faced with opportunities every single day, some of them might make you broke, some of them might make you rich, some of them might make you generational wealth. Now, wherever you are in that spectrum, hear me out. When you are faced with an opportunity, instead of procrastinating, thinking on it, and just sitting on it, if you ask yourself, hey, if I take action right now, WPO, what's the worst possible outcome that can happen? And then BPO, what's the best possible outcome? So now what you have is you have 2 different extreme cases. So for example, I'm 21 years old. I go to a live event in London and I'm like, man, this is too good to be true. I meet a guy who's actually a millionaire online, and I meet him at a live event and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I've never seen anyone in the UK like this. Then I get this email invite to attend this event in Las Vegas. This event here, okay? This event. Now my mind is thinking, wow, this is going to be a big event. I should go there. So when I go there, I now look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people that are making, that are millionaires. I mean, I was meeting people that were in the young 20s. Back then, today, every 20-year-old is making 100 grand a month. Back then, nobody was doing it. Okay, now if you make 100 grand a month, no one even, it's easy. What is it? 10 sales at 10K each. It's nothing. But back then, it was like a huge deal. And I met one person after another person that was making 50K, 100K a month. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm all in. Because the best possible outcome was, hey, I could be like one of these guys. I could be on stages all over the world. I could also teach other people all over the world. I could be respected, recognized, rewarded for my efforts. Wow. Hey, I could travel around the world. I could go to all the tropical countries in the world. I don't have to worry about, no budget. I can stay at the most fanciest hotels. I could go on wild experiences, whether it's skydiving in Dubai, going to Paris for shopping. I can do whatever the heck I want, whenever I want. Well, guess what? That's the best possible outcome. Okay, what's the worst possible outcome? Worst possible outcome is I don't do much with my life, even with this knowledge, which was 10 plus years ago. I understood that people could make money online doing digital marketing. Okay. Second thing is my family life sucks because I can't be around my family because I've seen other people that are always working 9 to 5, 9 to 9 all the time. They have to commute to work, spend hours in traffic. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to go and work in an office. I didn't want to wear suited and booted. I mean, I literally go to the gym every single day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I do cryotherapy, hyperbaric chamber, I get daily massages. And let me tell you, at 8:50 a.m. in the gym, people are literally rushing out to go because they have to start their work at 9. When I go to the gym at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., guess what? Literally, the whole gym is empty. And I go and I've met a few buddies and friends and acquaintances now, and they all are entrepreneurs. They all work for themselves because they've understood WPO, the worst possible outcome, and BPO, best possible outcome. And they themselves have realized the value of freedom, of working for yourself, of creating location, time freedom, financial freedom, energy freedom, emotional freedom. They've understood this at a high level. Now, I get it. Not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. But if that's the path that you want to be on, then understand the value. And the way you understand the value of something, one way is to do the WPO, worst possible outcome activity. List out 5 or 10 things. If you take action and it doesn't work, what really happens? And what if it does work? Best possible outcome. I remember when I did this exercise, everything became very clear. And I still do this exercise till now. For example, very transparently, I just moved into a beautiful new penthouse here in London. This is my third one. And when I move into a new penthouse, I tend to stay for around 5 years and then I go find another one. As I moved in here, London has been going through a massive heat wave. Okay, massive heat wave. And so here's what happened. I didn't anticipate the heat wave creates this massive greenhouse effect, which basically makes me sweat when I'm in the office. Now, I didn't anticipate this, and there's no air conditioner. We just moved in new. And I was putting this video off for at least, I don't know, 3-4 hours. And then I've got myself literally 2 fans that are blasting me air so I can keep cool and chill while it's making this video for you. And I quickly did this exercise. Best possible outcome. I do the video, Mikey edits it, we publish it, it goes out. Worst possible outcome. I don't do it. I feel groggy. I feel bad afterwards because I committed to making a video at least 3 times a week. So best possible outcome versus worst possible outcome. Let me just stick with it. Let me just do it. That's how important this activity is. And if you can create a habit of this, understanding that every decision that you make can be directed to best possible outcome, worst possible outcome, and then understanding their values, the risk and the reward, and you can get very good at it. Then when it comes to buying traffic, when it comes to acquiring customers, posting on social media, making videos, getting customers, upselling those customers, when it comes to creating products, guess what you're operating from? You're operating from a place of WPO, worst possible outcome, and best possible outcome. Boom, suddenly taking action becomes easy. Fourth principle that made me a multimillionaire in my early 20s, all praise to God, is accountability. You have to have mentors. You have to find someone. And this is what I found. You have to find someone in your life, whether it's a paid mentor, a friend or family member, that holds you accountable. But here's the thing, that holds you accountable and that you don't want to let them down. So for me, I know I have few close friends. They hold me to a high standard. But even if I didn't perform, they'd still be my friends. I've seen them because some days I've made $1 million in a day, and some days I was losing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in one of my businesses. Okay, my friends, they're still cool. Now, my younger brother, he holds me to a high standard. He holds me accountable, and he's someone that I never want to let down. So immediately, guess what happens? I have accountability at the highest level because I'm always speaking to him almost every single day. I basically speak to my younger brother every single day. I text him, I call him, whatever. I see him a few times a week. And so that's accountability. And then I genuinely do not ever want to let him down. And so I always think to myself, hey, if I don't hit my goals, who are the people around me that I've just not performed well, so that it affects me mentally, right? Because I'm like, I know I want to give the best to my family. And even if they don't need it, I just want to always give the best to my family. Whether it's my wife, my brothers, my parents, my sisters, my closest friends and family members. And so accountability starts with, first, making sure every single thing that you do, you realize it's your fault. Good or bad, it's your fault. You had a bad upbringing, it's your fault. It's okay. Why? Because the moment that you shift from playing the blame game, then you're no longer a victim, which then means that you're in now control and you're powerful to create new decisions. If you say, but my parents didn't give me this, if you say, but I didn't have this growing up, or this happened to me when I was a kid, okay, that's fine. I understand. Lots of other people have gone through it. And guess what? If you live that story, then you're living in the past. When you live in the past, you're always operating from a place of fear, insecurity, doubt, and scarcity. And when you take responsibility, now the whole world opens up. Now you can operate from a place of abundance. And abundance is what attracts. You have to be abundant up here first. Abundance mindset attracts more gratitude, more opportunities, more rewards. This is where the real magic happens. So if you find yourself that you are blaming, that you are playing the victim, that things don't go right your way, guess what will happen? You're going to keep attracting that. It's like it's this weird thing. And I understood this when I was in my early 20s, probably when I was like 21, 22 years old. I realized no amount of complaining, no amount of blaming others will get me to my goals. As soon as I switched from that, 21, 22, but the time I was 23, I made like my first $1 million. My first year I did like 120K, second year 275K, my third year full time in doing internet marketing, I made over $1.2 million. Like, once I got that and I got the formula down, I've been able to rinse and repeat that and generate well over $30 million before I turned 30 years old. And now I'm in my 30s. I just want to make as much valuable content as I can and just give it away for free on YouTube. So, by the way, if you like videos like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with a friend or family. Maybe some of these lessons you can't tell them directly, but if you send this video to them and they watch this, trust me, hopefully they get some real good value out of it, right? So hold yourself accountable. Raise your standards every single day. One of the things that I ask myself is, how do I raise my game? How do I raise my standards? How do I set new standards and defy all odds? Doesn't matter if my merchant accounts go down or this happens, that happens. Just in the last week, I've had Stripe account shut down. One of my core team members leaving me. Just a whole bunch of stuff, like too many. What am I gonna do? Complain? Complain to who? Tell my wife? Tell my friends? No, I gotta hey, I take full responsibility of everything. Boom. In the last week, one of my merchant accounts got shut down. Now I've got 3 extra merchant accounts open, and I've got probably about 10, 15 people in my inbox right now waiting to help me because I made the decision to go out on a Facebook group and just say, hey guys, this is what happened. Who can help me out? Boom. So when you can start holding yourself accountable and you're doing all the right things, you're time blocking. For example, this is a sheet that I use, okay, on productivity, and it literally maps out my entire day. This one's empty, but I have a whole book, and I'll just fill it out. I mean, from 5 a.m. to like 11 p.m. I'm awake usually those times. What do I have to do? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do for marketing, for sales, for investing? What do I need to do for my spiritual life? What do I need to do for my family, health? It literally even has how many times I should be drinking water. So that's why I have lots of water next to me. I'm going to take a sip now. So are you getting this? Accountability. Accountability amplifies all of your actions. Number 5, consistency. This is the most underrated thing that I have seen in all of success creation, wealth creation. Because when you have consistency, other people now are attracted to you because they see you showing up. People now look up to you because they see a guy or girl who's consistent, means that if they were to invest with you, that you'll be consistent in showing up, in supporting them. You know, for when I was around 23 years old, 24 years old, I started emailing my list. I used to email them once a week. Then I started emailing them twice a week. Then I met a mentor and he told me to email every single day. 6 to 7 times a week, I send out an email. I have been consistent with this practice for over 10 years. Literally, sure, I miss a few days here and there, but over 10 years, I've been sending an email a day. And I've acquired over 1.5 million email subscribers. That's where the majority of my income comes from even now, through paid traffic, funnels, and my email list. And I thought, you know what, it would be so valuable for me to take all the best lessons I've got and just start sharing them for free on my YouTube channel. So be sure, if you like these videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with a friend or family member. Consistent in self-improvement, consistent in your all aspects of your life. How do you up your game? For example, Mikey works with me. This is Mikey, and as he's with me all the time, I advise him on his own self. How does he 5x 10x his growth? Even today I said, hey Mikey, what have you been up to? Tell me 3 things that you're doing to up level yourself as a man. What are you really doing? And I said, he's been working out in the gym, he's been learning this, he's been acquiring new skills, he's focused on this growth. And I'm like, that's cool. Now if he sat there and he told me, oh, I haven't really learned anything, I haven't done anything, then I would, I would have a few words with him. But if you can consistently commit to, how do I be consistent in everything that I do, whether it's making videos, whether it's writing a book, whether it's posting on your social media, whether it's connecting with influencers and joint venture partners and people that can promote your products and services. If you can be consistent in your promotions of your products and services, whatever the case is, right? Like I lost over 28 pounds. This is my little before and after here. And the reason why I was able to lose 28 pounds where I was overweight for 10 years and then boom, one commitment, I made the decision, built up the courage to be consistent. Guess what happens? In a span of about 6 to 8 months, I lose around 28 pounds. I feel like a completely different person. I've lost like a couple of sizes down. I've got so much more energy. I just feel happier. And what the thing with consistency is, this is the hard part. This is what most people don't get. It's hard in the beginning, but the consistent small efforts, it goes like this, boom, 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 and then suddenly it goes, shh, and that's where the explosion happens. Like, that's how when you start making money, it just starts pouring from everywhere. I mean, today, literally just today, probably 2 hours before I'm making this video, we just got a payment. Mikey, how much was that payment for? 270 grand, $270,000, $270,000, one payment. Okay, this is just a normal day in my life. Okay, now not every day do I make 270K. Don't get carried away. Not yet anyway. But it's just, why? Because the guy that gave it, the guy that paid me from America, he's been following me consistently. He's been seeing me. I've been showing up, whether it's through my paid ads, through my funnels, through my offers, through my promotions, through whatever I'm doing. It's consistent. And so when the money starts coming in, you can't even stop it. When the success starts coming in, you can't even stop it. I'm telling you now. And the best thing about consistency is when you start being consistent in your business and you start developing the discipline of just showing up, even if you're not getting the results, your consistency's best friend shows up. Okay, I'm just making this term up, okay, which is what? Momentum. Okay, momentum is consistency's best friend. You want to be consistent in taking action until you start getting momentum. Then even when you start getting momentum, that's when you start doubling down. That's when you start just going harder than ever. So these 5 principles have served me very, very well. And for the 6th one, I'll just add this, right? For me, it's important having faith, right? I'm a Muslim. I believe in Allah. I follow Islam. And so for me, having that faith and operating from a place of faith over fear, understanding that, you know what, when I need help, there's God there. I'm reaching out to God. I'm praying to God all day, every day, as much as I can. And so for me, that's like core. That's like the absolute base foundation of everything else. So if you like this video and you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe. And once a month, I host a 5-day live workshop. It's 100% free to attend. And it's just to go deeper in some of the topics that I've discussed here. If you want to learn more, head over to 5daychallenge.co. Check the links in the description. I'll see you in the next video.